concept of Emu is fascinating in its own right, but I'm not gonna talk about Emu's character here. Even though I really wanted to, we're gonna talk about Emu's abilities instead. So, first one on the list is, was Emu using a devil fruit in the first place? You might be wondering, does it matter? Well, not really, but I feel like many people's problems on the concept of Domi Reversi revolves around this question. Before you all forget, Haki can negate devil fruit abilities. Our first clue was of course Rayleigh's explanation to Luffy. Armament Haki bypasses intangibility of a Logia, but that's not the only thing it can do. Every devil fruit category is vulnerable when it comes to armament Haki. Then Oda gave it even more juice that Haki can negate or resist certain cheat-like devil fruit abilities. Let's call them hacks. Now, the story didn't specify which abilities are hacks. These are just the things that we consider hacks. Most of them are temporary, while some are goddamn permanent. It's like a curse from a witch. Either it's a fatal curse like getting your body swapped from someone else, or you get depressed. The range is fucking crazy. Of course, there are some different ways to deal with hacks. Sometimes they have weaknesses that people can exploit, like for example, Usopp being resistant to Perona's depression goat. More like, he's not resistant, he's more like negating this ability against Perona's ghost. Or Luffy countering Enel's intangibility. Basically, Luffy touching him even without Haki at some point in time. Anyway, the simple rule is that the stronger the Haki user is, the more likely chance that they can negate or resist bullshit on their way. You might notice I'm using negate and resist here, so I'm gonna explain why. There's a difference between what Kaido and Big Mom did compared to Law. There's two types. Kaido doesn't need to do anything because of the massive gap of Haki he has against Law. This is what we call negation. But Law has to overexert his Haki in order to get rid of the feminization. This is what we call resistance. In terms of Xebec's performance throughout this flashback, I think we're safe to say that his Haki is comparable to the likes of Kaido and Big Mom in the Onigashima rooftop, but then it's confirmed in this chapter 1164, he's in the resistant category, not in the negation category. He resisted it a little bit and then he was turned into a demon. So after all the shit I said, it should be impossible for Xebec to turn into a demon. Why did he fail? This entire negation thing with Haki is kind of vague because technically speaking, we can't measure someone's Haki superiority over someone else. We can't do it accurately. We don't have the numbers for it. For example, we got characters like Sugar who turn people who have strong Haki into toys. Even when she's not capable in using Haki, she did it to them anyway. The fighters in the Colosseum should be able to negate her ability in theory, but they weren't able to. It might be possible to resist it just like what Law did, but they have to be aware on this knowledge that yes, it's possible to resist it with Haki, or there might be something else they can't use Haki maybe in their toy form. The same thing can also be said to Devil Fruit awakenings. Even though some awakening abilities were temporary, like Luffy turning the ground into rubber, or even Luffy affecting his opponent with his Devil Fruit whenever he's in awakening state, or Doflamingo turning his surroundings into strings, or Katakuri turning the fucking mirror world into mochi. Law and Kid's awakening still work against Big Mom. Gamma Knife working against Kaido is fucking crazy even today. He doesn't have any Haki capabilities like Luffy where he can attack Kaido internally. It's also the fact that Emu is not a weakling. We've already seen that Emu's a Haki practitioner too, and I feel like people don't see that. Let me picture this for you. Emu's been alive for 800 years, has monopoly on almost all the resources in the world, might also have an ancient weapon possession, and give or take 50-50, I don't know, manipulated the world's entire history, and we've seen this monster exudes conqueror's Haki. Yeah, Emu's Big Daddy. Anyway, Haki's always the answer anyway, like either through a different application of Conquerors or something new. Hell, every fight of Luffy post time skip has always been solved by Haki. He beat Caesar with his Haki. He beat Doflamingo, who has Awakening, with his Haki. He beat Katakuri with his Awakening with Haki. And then we get to Kaido. It's still Haki. We're not even talking about his regeneration ability yet, but I feel like people should let this ability play out before we jump into conclusions. Now, I don't really have that much expectations when it comes to Xebec, at least before this flashback, but I feel like this entire flashback with Xebec, he proved himself already in terms of his strength, in terms of how powerful he is. It's just that Imu is stronger. That's it. It's really that simple. Haki is more important than awakening, than any power system right now in One Piece. And Imu can't be in that position with just Devil Fruit. Maybe I'm just fucking tripping, but that's what I feel, you know? Yeah, I'm done. Peace.